Welcome in, Cyclone fans. How you feeling after that one? A big win for Iowa State. We've got John Schaefer up at Jack Trice. We will get to him in a minute. We've got a whole mess at the top of the Big 12. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Week 2, but they don't know how many more games they will have with sports and activities being shut down next week. Joining me now, Roosevelt head coach Mitch Moore. And Coach, you hear this decision come down yesterday. What goes through your mind when you hear that? Rightfully so, right? He's a 5-star. He's going to go wherever he wants in college. But I was blown away by the team defense they play. It seemed like every tackle that was made, there were 4 guys there. They fly to the ball. I think we could all use a little bit of happiness. So get your popcorn and hot dogs ready, because in just 2 days, we have high school football that, actually matters. Hey, come on, easy down there, guys. Split it up. We're not going to have full stands shoulder to shoulder this year. And just because you're spending a lot of time here at home doesn't mean you can't stay active. And how about using something like running to connect a community? A Waukee man is doing just that. Goal 5 this evening, we visit a senior night. It's an annual tradition at every school, right? You hear the band and cheerleaders and see the players lined up with roses for moms. But in Earlham, amongst the towering seniors on Friday night, there was a 6-year-old first grader living out a dream that at one point didn't seem possible. This is Benton Colon, and he loves football.
The 20, the 10, touchdown!
More specifically, Earlham football.
His mom sends my mom videos of him like, I get to watch the Earlham Cardinals play Friday. And
he had his own miniature football field at his birthday party, football cake, everything football.
Yes, it's safe to say Benton loves football, but he'll never play it.
He was 7 months old and he started having seizures, infantile spasms. When the seizures started, all he could do was lay there. Like, he didn't sit up anymore, he didn't giggle anymore, he just laid there.
A prenatal stroke caused the seizures. He was diagnosed with brain damage and hemispheric paralysis on his left side.
I was devastated. We didn't know anything. We didn't know if he would ever walk or talk or the seizures would stop.
After years of therapy, Benton has been seizure-free for more than 5 years. He still walks with a slight limp, and he'll never walk on a football field. At least, not as a player.
I know the kid loves football, and he's at every game. I'd say he's probably one of our biggest fans.
So in steps the Earlham football team.
we thought it'd be a good choice to make him our honorary captain for our senior night.
So there he was, a 6-year-old, hand in hand with his heroes in a jersey to match. And a mom who got to see her son do something that she never thought was possible.
I hugged random senior boys just because it's their night, it's senior night. It's supposed to be about them, and they're making it about, I mean, it's not all going to be about Benton, but they're letting a 6-year-old first grader be a part of senior night.
Why is it amazing?
Because I dreamed about it. Because I never got to be on the sideline doing a game.
You saw him opening that gift there towards the end. Well, this is what it was. The whole Earlham football team signed a football, names, numbers, and everything, and gave it to him.
I mean, I feel like I'm playing in the Winter Classic right now.
It's amazing what some frigid temperatures,
Sub-zero weather, but that's not stopping us here.
a frozen pond, and a good cause can do.
And I'm just super happy that they're out here supporting us, man. It's awesome.
A group of guys in Waukee this past weekend grabbed their skates and sticks with a purpose beyond winning.
Mental health is just as important as all other forms of hygiene that we practice daily. So this gives everybody an opportunity to get out here, play hockey, promote mental health, and break down the stigma.
The hockey tournament, hosted by Strong Mind Apparel, as you can tell, was less about goals and assists and more about raising money and awareness.
So everybody here knows that the event's about mental health, and a lot of people have a personal connection to mental health, whether they've struggled personally or somebody in their friends and family.
Something one of the organizers is all too familiar with.
I mean, I've had friends, family, people like that have lost their lives to suicide. So that's really close to me and personal.
So they used a sport they love, one ironically usually associated with aggression, to break the ice and break a stigma. And yes, of course there was a trophy, a big one. But on Saturday, they played for something more.
The more that you talk about mental health, the less taboo it becomes, and that is quite literally a definition of destigmatizing mental health.
So while there weren't 100,000 fans there, this Winter Classic was arguably more important. In Waukee, Matthew, Judy. Local 5 Sports, we are Iowa. At Drake, the road home isn't always a straight one.
It's funny, We were just talking the other day about a recruiting process, and, you know, because there was the first one and then there was the second one. And so that's unique.
Sometimes you've got to take a little detour.
But I'm glad to be back home, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Grace Berg was a 4-time All-State player at Indianola, the 5A Player of the Year her senior year, and a top 40 recruit with choices.
It came down to Drake and Mizzou, and I felt at the time that both programs and both coaches, I had really good connections with both, and that they would each get like a lot out of me.
She opted for the Tigers. The Bulldogs didn't have to wait very long though. Just a semester in, Berg was looking for a change, so she made a call.
Even when I decided I was transferring, I didn't talk to anyone else. My first call was to Jenny, and I just like knew.
Knowing her throughout the recruiting process, it was really hard to hear no the first time, and it was freaking amazing to hear yes the second.
After redshirting last year, she now plays just a half hour from where her journey began.
My family's in the crowd, playing in front of them like means the world.
And she's playing well too. She's averaging 18 points a game, and she's already been named MVC Newcomer of the Week twice. But before she was driving the lane at the Nap, she had to find her way home.
Obviously, like I was frustrated with myself because I was like, oh, did I make the wrong decision like coming out of high school? But I've always gone back to like everything happens for a reason, and I learned what I had to learn.
The biggest area of growth for her is just the smile she walks in and out of the arena with. And I think that's pretty cool.
A smile that'll be here for the next few years. In Des Moines, Matthew, Judy, Local 5 News, we are Iowa.